number 10 set to unfold on this Ohio Valley Hoops Classic. Along with Ben Baker, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here on Chatterbox Plus. 10 games over 2 days. We're finally at the end, partner, and we had an enjoyable one here in game number 9 just because of the star talent as Cathedral out of Indianapolis beat St. Ignatius 67-51.
Yeah, what looked like was going to be a little bit of a slugfest at the beginning of defensive prowess ended up being a high-scoring affair with Cathedral coming on top, and just the athleticism couldn't be overtaken by the slow, methodical approach of Cleveland St. Ignatius. And you're hearing already a fired-up Hilliard-Bradley team excited for these warm-ups, ready to go.
You see on your screen the Mason Comets for their second night in a row, clad in the home whites. They'll be out on the floor again here in this one. Their head coach is Greg Richards in his 27th year, 390 wins and 180 losses. 1-0 this season, 18-6 a year ago on a team that made it to the district final. On the other side for the Hilliard-Bradley Jaguars, 18-5 a year ago. This is their first game of the year out of the Ohio Capital Conference. Brett Norris is their head coach in his 26th year, 4-0-4 and 145. Before we get to the starting lineups, partner, that's a lot of years between two head coaches.
Absolutely, and they have a lot of respect for each other. I had the pleasure of talking about Greg Richards and the coach of Hilliard-Bradley, Coach Norris, and they know each other. They've known each other for a long time, and 27 years. I asked Coach Richards specifically, what do you give credit to those 27 years being able to stay in one place? And he said basically it comes down to just having great kids at Mason. Coach Norris, with all his experience and his father as being a coach before him, said, what does it come down to in these last 8 years where you've won the 3 district championships and the 5 leagues? He says basically if we're physical, especially on defense, even with this young squad that we have this year, we're looking forward to continuing that 8-year run.
Let's get the starters here in this ball game. First for the Bradley Jaguars. Number 2, Cade Norris is a 6'3 sophomore. He'll run with number 5, Tayshawn Mayfield, 6'3, a senior. 15 is Peyton Murphy, 6'3", a senior. 21 is Jeb Bischoff at 6 foot tall. He's a sophomore. And rounding out the 5 is 25, Ian Abras at 6'1", a sophomore. The 5 on the floor that we'll start seeing here from Mason. 2 is Todd Middleton at 6'1", a senior. Ben Menker is 5, 6'4", a sophomore. Jack Ullum wears 10, 6'4", a junior. 12 is Alex Morton, 6'3", a senior. And 31, Evan Ehlers at 6'3", a senior. So we're just about set to go. Tap is controlled by Mason, and away we go here in Mason. It's Middleton with the ball, out to the sideline where he plays Menker. Returns it up high. Getting his first touch is Morton. Beg your pardon, it is Middleton. Middleton, top of the key. They're trying to get everyone a touch. Morton finally gets one, and I'll back up high to Middleton. Strong man-to-man defense here on the outset. Here's Menker into the lane, looking for his teammate. We turn it over, looking down low for Jack Ullum.
Like you said, I think both teams just kind of feeling themselves out in that first offensive possession for Mason. They're seeing what Bradley is running, and they're going to see what they can get inside to start.
40 seconds deep into this one, still scoreless as Bradley gets their first opportunity on offense. Drive off the baseline, knocked away from Bischoff. Here's Middleton up into the forecourt. Drives in the lane, kicks it out. Jack Ullum gets a touch, and now back over for Morton. I beg your pardon, Ehlers gives it up, gets it back low on the right. Baseline 3 off the mark. Tapped out, belongs to Morton. And now here's a straight on 3. Knock it down, 3-0. Todd Middleton.
And I think what's going to play a role in this game is that we are at Mason High School, and you do see a small Mason student section. They're already fired up early in this contest.
3 off the mark. And the loose ball belongs. Here's no good. As Morton tried to drive the well, he was fouled into active shooting with 6:28 to go here in this first.
Yeah, the turnover is actually by number 2. Middleton gets the ball up to Morton. He tries to put it into the basket, gets fouled in the process. He's going to send him to the line for his first 2 foul shots.
So Bischoff will pick up his first. As the first team foul this ball game, 6:28 frozen on the clock. Here's Morton to the stripe. Front end is good. This one worked down low and knocked away.
Abrass rejected by the Mason defender.
3. Knock it down! Ben Minker, we got a timeout. 9-0.
Timeout, Bradley. That is a 30-second.
We see this one here going to a break. 3. String music. Nothing out of the timeout and full court pressure, 2-2-1 variety. And we're looking to see if Bradley breaks. They finally do. Jump pass, saved. Into the lane, and the drought is broken. Ian Abross gets the first deuce of the night for Hilliard. Bradley. It's Ullum, right of the key, penetrates, stuck at the free throw line, the dump off, and it's off the hands of Morton. Tapped away from him. It's 9-2.
Checking into the game for Bradley, number 14, which is EJT. It's a little hard to see these numbers, black on blue there.
Yeah, the blue numerals on the black uniforms for visiting Bradley. Here's a drive by Morton to the rack. No good. He drew the foul with 5:32 to go here in this first period.
Second attempt by Morton to go to the hole. Gets a second foul that he picks up, missing the shot in the process. He's going to go to the line for another set of 2.
Alex Morton shooting 2.
So Morton is an efficient player, missed free throw aside. This is a young man that was 4th in the GMC a year ago in field goal percentage. Somewhere right around the area of 58%. He misfires on the second as well.
Yeah, Coach Richards told me earlier this week that he's got to be the go-to guy, especially early on the season with his experience.
He had 6 points a night ago, had a dunk that was thunderous here in the building. Here's a 3 straight on!
3-point basket, Bischoff.
Chad Bischoff locks on.
Benny Carroll, the gentleman that runs this tournament, told me to look for Bischoff, that he is going to be a hot shooter from outside the arc.
Averaged 6.5 a ball game a year ago. He gets his first points of the night, 9-5. So a 5-0 run for the Jaguars. Morton back outside. Rising and no good for Ben Minker. Here's the putback for Minker, no good, and this one taken away from him. Cade Norris, the coach's son, off the high screen. Stuck right of the lane and in. Nice high-low down there to Tayshaun Mayfield.
Yeah, pardon me, partner. Yeah, definitely a good, strong finish by the wide-body Mayfield, finishing with his right hand soft against the glass.
Missed all of last year due to an knee injury. And it's a 7-point run. Drought still not broken. The ball put up by Ullum, no good. He puts it back and breaks the drought. 11-7 as Morton wraps his arms around Cade Norris. Cade has a good body on him, by the way. 6'3", just a sophomore. Has 2 older brothers who are playing Division I college basketball right now.
Yeah, can you imagine being in a household where you're going to have maybe eventually 3 D1 basketball players? The first 2, Wright State and Loyola Chicago, are the recipients of the Norris brothers so far.
Keep it outside. Here's Norris right to the rack.
Finishes under the basket and up and over with his right hand. A nice move by the sophomore.
Averaged 14 a ball game a year ago, 11-9. The Jaguars made the Sweet 16 in Division I a year ago. As Ullum outside the arc on the left, high-low, nice touch pass there by Middleton, and they keep it outside. 4 new starters for Mason this year, and into this ballgame is Ben Golan off the bench. He gives it up, he gets it back, up high on the right point. 3:15 to go here in this fast-moving first period. Also in the game is Mikey Jones wearing 15. Middleton has it, And they play a little isolation backyard ball here for the better part of the last 30 seconds. 3 on the way! Jack Henry locks on!
And Coach Richards said all he wants to do is run his flex offense to make sure that there's plenty of options for his Mason Comets, and you saw one that ended with a 3-point attempt and good.
And we got a foul. Mikey Jones came over to help on the near side on the low block, and he picks up the personal. And the team fouls are even at 2 apiece.
Jeff, they actually called that on Golan. So they gave that to number 24, Ben Golan.
So it's on Golan.
First shot is good by Norris.
So Norris, as we had mentioned, averaged about 14 points a ball game a year ago. He has scored as many as 29 in a ball game. You mentioned the pedigree. His older brother Keaton, who played for this team a year ago, is at Wright State as a freshman. Got them both. 14-11. 3 again! This time it's for Ben Minker. His second trifecta of the night, 17-11. They play it down low to the big man. Oh, and that body sure plays well down low on the block for Tayshawn Mayfield.
Give and go works to perfection for Bradley. And a steal by Mayfield.
Here's Mayfield. Mayfield will wait for the rest of his recruits, and again, they stay outside the arc. 3 from the corner, too strong this time for Jeff Bischoff. 17-13. Points have come at a premium here in the first 6 minutes. Hanley plays it back up on high. They rotate over for Golan. Puts it on the deck against the bigger Mayfield. Middleton. Drive. DeBras, he gets 2.
DeBras finishing with the left hand off the glass. A beautiful shot.
Matt DeBras is 5'11", a sophomore. He gives his Comets a 6-point lead. This one into the backcourt and out of bounds with 1:25 left to go here in this fast-moving first period.
Yeah, unforced error by Bradley there to give the ball back to the Mason Comets there. I'm interested to see how they're going to effectively defend this flex motion, which Coach Norris knows what's coming. Said Coach Rich has been running this his entire 27 years, but there's just so many high IQ kids at Mason. They know what to do, having run it since 7th grade.
Middleton stuck at the free throw line, pivots, finally gets it away and now threw it away. Tapped away and taken down by the coach's son. To the rack he goes! Cade Norris with 2 more.
Left hand finish, spinning like a top on the iron, and goes in with the shooter's spin, not the shooter's roll.
1 minute to play here in this first period. It's Middleton looking inside. Morton low on the left, trying to back in. Oh, a beauty move on the post. No, it's a charge. He wrapped his arm around the defender, Tayshawn Mayfield, and we head the other way with 51.5 to go.
Yeah, the crowd doesn't like it, but absolutely the right call. He hooked his left arm around him, tried to get in with his right hand to finish, and clearly the foul called against him was the right move.
So that's the 3rd team foul of this first half for the home team, the de facto home team, the Mason Comets. They work inside to Norris. 3 on the catch and release off the mark. No good for Bischoff. Menker with the ball, 34 to play. Ullum puts it on the deck, he lost it. Here's Mayfield, a 1-on-2 behind the back dribble. No good, he can't get it to fall, but it'll go to the line. That was a beauty move from the big guy. You've never seen a linebacker move so fast.
And I tell you, he's already caused 2 turnovers early in this game in the first quarter. So he's active hands on defense.
Number 5, Tayshawn Mayfield.
So that's the first on DeBras, the 4th on the Comets with 25.3 left to go. And Mayfield, a football player as well, misfires on the first.
Older brother, I believe, plays D1 college football, so the lineage for quality college sports is in his family already.
Mason only returning 1 starter from a year ago, but they're looking pretty good here in the early minutes, and Mayfield makes it on the back end.
Switching out the shooter for the Hilliard Bradley Jaguars will be Nick Boland coming into the game.
See if Mason plays for a final shot. 20 to play here in quarter number 1. 19-16 your score. As DeBras has the top of the key. Middleton now has it on the catch. Rolls behind a moving screen. Under 10 to play. He's trying to make a move. Dances into the lane to the free throw line. Catch or release for 3! Knock it down, DeBras! And that's the way this first period ends. On a beauty 3 as we head to a break. As we look at DeBras right here, spring music. We're through 8 minutes here in the final game of this Ohio Valley Hoops Classic. 22-16, the home team leading as Mason has the 6-point lead over the Bradley Jaguars. Along with Matt Baker, I'm Geoff Kim. Reed Mouse is producing us tonight. Ian Kallmeyer is making sure that you get to see it at home. And out of the timeout, the coach's son in Norris has the ball. Mayfield gets a touch and playing it to E.J. Taya, who's into the ball game for Bradley. They work around Mayfield and charge. So another hook play, if you will, this time by the big man on the near end for visiting Bradley.
Yeah, we get to see that one right up close to our broadcast area here, and Mayfield, no question, hooking with his arm to work around and using his size to his advantage, but gets called for the charge. Big
man's in foul trouble. He's got 2. Oh, and a throwaway. Todd Middleton was playing to the corner. No one's home. It's an unforced turnover for the Comets.
Yeah, Middleton is going to get his, we'll call him his sea legs underneath him, having missed all last year and coming back out as a senior.
Had 14 points last night against Tri-Village. He had a nice all-around game. It's Norris. Bow on the left, backing in, now draws the double. And we got contact down on the block. Ullum was down low enforcing, and he picks up the personal.
Yeah, something I've seen already, you'll see on this replay, Norris is playing a lot in the paint already. He wants to be in that low box to get that entry pass. He's looking to draw defenders and then dump it off immediately.
So Nick Bowen to the line, misfires on the first. 6'3" senior. One of the problems that we do have with early season games in particular, and Bowen gets 1 of 2, is that there is a lack of scoring information provided sometimes by conferences. In the case of Ohio Capital Conference, good conference, they don't provide as much as the Greater Miami Conference. It's Menker with the ball. That wasn't a dig, by the way, at the OCC.
Oh, no, I actually talked to the coach about that. I asked why the website wasn't up to date with information, and he said the same thing. He just wished it, was a little more updated and better used.
DeBras, who had a big 3 in the first quarter, has it momentarily. They keep it around the arc. Keep away right now here in the middle minutes of this second period. Middleton will recollect and reset. Man defense. 3 on the catch and release, no good for Ullum.
One thing I'm noticing about Mason is their whole offense is set on screens and playing off of screens, and I don't see a lot of body contact. I'm looking for more body contact. It seems like they're trying to cut before they make the contact.
So on the turnover, the unforced turnover, the ball stays up front. It's Middleton up high. Looking for a flashing Ben Menker before he can get the shot off. There's a foul. With 6:20 to go here in this first half.
Early fouls on number 15, Peyton Murphy.
Fouls on Peyton Murphy, who's in this ballgame. 6'3", a senior. So it's off the ball, and they'll stay up front. Into the backcourt to chase it down. And a good shot by DeBras. Big effort. Ullum has nowhere to pass to, returns it up high, Menker. Menker on the deck, draws a crowd, and he traveled.
Yeah, he slid his left foot as he was trying to reposition on the block there, so that's an unforced error again by the Mason Comets.
So as we were pretty much a house set on fire in the first first quarter, we've slowed down. Only 1 point so far here in quarter number 2.
Yeah, energies are still high. The ball's just not dropping in at this point.
Ball's deflected, but it doesn't matter. Ian Abross logs on. 22-19 with 5:39 to go till halftime. It feels like Bradley's gained some momentum here in the second quarter.
Especially after having to overcome a 9-0 deficit to start the game. It definitely feels like they're back in rhythm now.
DeBras, high-low, dumps it off. Menker puts it up. No good on the fadeaway from 10 feet out. Reaching on Menker. I don't know if reaching is probably a very polite way to call that foul as he worked in on Cade Norris.
Some would say mugging, but yeah, reaching. We'll go with reaching at this point.
He did make an effort.
Yeah.
At least that's what it looked like from our sideline view. And we've got a timeout on the floor with 5:14 left to go here till halftime. 22-19 here on Chatterbox Plus. Out of the Mason timeout, it's 22-19. Bischoff out on the catch, dumps it off. Cade Norris works in, draws the double. Here's a three from the corner, no good. As Abross can't get it to fall, and a foul coming off the ball, away from the shot.
Yeah, Nick Boland knew what he did before he was even called for it. He started to take himself back to the other side of the court, and the ref kind of looked at him and nodded, said, "Yeah, I caught you."
There's an old line I think about taking people out to the exit, and that's exactly what Boland did down there. Todd Middleton will handle the ball. We mentioned he had 14 points last night. He had 4 defensive rebounds and 6 assists. An all-around good floor game a night ago against Clyde Village.
Especially for a guy coming off, taking a year off of basketball.
Then Golan back into the ball game. They play down low. Golan underneath the hoop. Reverse layup. No good. And Mayfield the rebound, who's back into this contest. Lays to Cade Norris, making his move. Roll on the left. Back out to Mayfield. A little two-man game. He disdains 3. Dives into the lane. Has his shot redirected. Kept at home. Fouls on Ben Golan.
Golan had his hand on the ball, even on top of the ball. The problem is the foul was with his other hand on Norris's body.
It's number 2 on Golan. And the coach's son hits on the first free throw attempt. We had mentioned that the only returning starter from a year ago for Mason was Alex Morton, their best all-around player from a year ago anyways, but they lost a lot. Matthew Smith, 2-time defending Defensive Player of the Year, and the second one is no good. And who could forget Trey Killens, who exploded for 21.5 points a ball game a year ago, the Offensive Player of the Year in the GMC. Here's Middleton, side pocket left, and now down low, Ullum puts it up, he can't get it to fall.
Another thing Coach Richards said, we have to look out for Morton because he is dealing with an elbow injury. You can see that wrap on his elbow. Might be causing him some problems because he hasn't been in the game.
Managing minutes at the very least. He didn't play a whole heck of a lot last night. Charged. Or a 3-second lane violation. Wait, hold on. Go ahead.
His third foul. It's going to be his third foul.
Friendly offensive foul, number 5, Tayshaun Mayfield.
Yeah, I think he mixed up football and basketball for a second because he buried his shoulder into the defender and just pushed, and they called him for the charge. That'll be his third.
So that's 6. Player control. Here's a 3 on the catch and release off the mark. Mason's still cold here in the second quarter. 3 on the way, off the mark from Menker.
So what was falling in the first quarter hasn't been able to fall for him in the second quarter.
3 straight on is an air ball for Norris, but they keep it alive. 3 off the wing, off the mark, and no attempt at a putback, and we've got a hard foul as Boland was making his move against Jack Hanley, and Jack picks up a big-time personal.
Mason fouls on number 23, Jack Hanley.
So that's the first on Hanley. 18 fouls now against the Comets with 3:25 to go.
Yeah, Coach Richard also mentioned Hanley might be dealing with a little bit of an injury as well, so may not see a ton of minutes from Hanley, but he's using one to pick up his first foul.
No good. The rebound to Hanley. And we get another foul.
Bradley fouls on number 11, Nick Bolin.
So Bolin picks up the personal. That's his second. Turnabout is fair play. We have the other way. And again, the 1-and-1. 17 fouls now against the Jaguars.
If I'm not mistaken, he was the shooter on that play.
Yes,
right?
he was.
So that's interesting. I don't see a lot of fouls against the person shooting a foul shot on a regular basis.
And again, turnabout truly is fair play.
Wow, yeah.
Or if you will, instant karma.
Instant karma, yes. Instant karma is going to get you. You mentioned some of your music prowess earlier, so I'm sure you know where that's from.
Well, give me a quick second here as we take a look here. Ullum to the line, gets to first. Of course, the long, late John Lennon.
Yes.
Passed away back in 1980. And we all must shine on, right?
Yes.
The next one is up and good. Well, it's funny. You and I, during the intermission, we were talking about some of the music that was playing here, and somebody was actually playing the Spinners' Rubber Band Man, and I just realized that I might have been the only person up in our area that knew that song, and we got a foul.
I believe they're going to call a backcourt violation, so he stepped over the timeline, and they're going to get the ball back to the Comets. Now, if you work in I Am the Walrus reference, and at some point in this game, you're a champion. I'm telling you. That's one that I don't know that anybody can bring to the table.
I am the Eggman. So who's the Eggman?
There you go.
Oh, and a literal handoff and a turnover for Bradley. Right into the hands of Bischoff. Cade Norris returns it up high. Under 3 to play in this first half, and the Comets have only scored twice in this second quarter.
You can hear the student section of Mason giving it to Norris for the air ball earlier.
They work inside. Oh, nice cut and score. Peyton Murphy for 2.
Just patience with movement of the ball. They lull you to sleep. All of a sudden, a cutting Murphy gets the pass, and he scores.
24 to 22. We had mentioned that Mason's only scored 2 points since the quarter break, but the Jaguars really haven't taken advantage of it. It's Menker, the runner!
Finishing with his right hand over the defender. Nice job to go to the left side of the lane there.
8 for Menker, 26 to 22, and the drought's broken. Drive Norris, stuck low on the left. Great defense. Here's a 3 from the corner. Jeb Bishop.
Nice answer, and that's the second one for Bischoff.
26 to 25. A 1-point game. 3 on the way. Too long for the Bras.
And I think our producer, Reed Mouse, kind of gave us a little heads up for the second half for Mason. Are they going to be able to stay as hot as they were in the first quarter so far? The answer is no.
Jumper from 18, no good for Bischoff. Mason trying to create. It's Menker, stuck on the elbow, high-low, wrap around. It's loose on the floor, still loose, and it's taken away. Bradley trying to take the lead for the first time tonight. They were down 9-0 before we could even blink. Work in, North, side pocket right. 3 on the way, too short. And the rebound to Jack Hanley. Quickly up front, taken away in a pinball. Back over for Norris, out to the sideline and returns it up high.
And Bradley's losing their spacing on the floor. They need to get back into their traditional offense here. They're clotting up too much.
And might have to call for a timeout. Jump ball. We got a tie up on the floor with 39.2 left to go. Then we head the other way.
It's an interesting call. It didn't look like Mason ever actually had possession in time with the ball, but the refs found it otherwise, and it's going to be turned over to the Comets once again.
So plenty of action, but nothing to show for it on the scoreboard. The Jaguars lead this quarter 6-4.
This is the football version of we're getting yards between the 20 and the 20, but we can't get it in the red zone.
It's Menker up top. We'll see if he plays for a final shot or if if he wants to create. Back out to Braz, gets a touch, and returns to Middleton, who's run the point for much of this. To the free throw line he goes. Backdoor, no good, taken away. And we'll see if Bradley takes a final shot with 10 to play. Here's Norris with the ball. He pumps, it's blocked by Hanley. And to put up and with 0.2 seconds left to go, we've got a foul.
So I believe that was Heath with the foul underneath, and the student section of Mason is going wild. We see on the replay there that although the ball was entered off the deflection of the Norris shot, Heath commits the foul with, like you said, less than a second left in this quarter.
Ben Golan picks up his third. Here's the front end, no good. Peyton Murphy at the line, 6'3", a senior, averaged about 5 points and 5 rebounds a year ago. Looking to tie it up to go into the locker room. He does. That's our first tie of the ball game. The ball's entered in. The throw up at the buzzer. The bank's not open there for Todd Middleton, and we go to the locker room. Tied at 26 in a barn burner here at Mason Arena. Time for our halftime. We'll return with our second half when we come back here on Chatterbox Plus. Close encounters here in game number 10 of this Ohio Valley Hoops Classic. Along with Matt Baker, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here on Chatterbox Plus. The mighty one Reed Mouse is producing us tonight. Ian Callum-Myers making sure that you can see it at home. So, close one to be sure. Partner, before we go to a first half highlight or potential play of the night here, according to Headlines Apparel, we are tied up at 26. So this was a game that Mason in the first quarter had a 6-point edge, 22-16. And since then, it's been a 10-4 advantage by Bradley in what I can only term as an ugly second quarter.
Yeah, like you said, the ball just kind of couldn't find its rhythm. There were turnovers aplenty. The lid became a problem on the basket for Mason. And although Bradley was able to get the 10 points there, as you mentioned, just didn't seem like they ever took advantage of the slow play by the Comets. So hopefully in this second half, you're going to see a little bit of return to the first quarter, which was a hot shooting Mason team, and a little bit more of a turnover prone Bradley team. So we'll see if the defense of Mason can cause that again.
Your thoughts on what may actually be a Headlines Apparel play of the night so far?
Yeah, I think we talked about it for a brief second there. I don't know that there's one individual play. I do feel like the back-to-back charge calls that were specifically for the wraparound fouls, at both ends of the court, kind of slowed overall the play down. So it just made everybody a little less aggressive and caused the approach to be a little bit different for each team. And I think right now those would be the plays of the first half.
Well, rest assured we will have a Headlines Apparel play of the night or play of the game at Game's End, powered by Headlines Apparel. So just a few seconds away from the start of this second half. Some notables just to kind of go through. Ben Minker had 8 points, and if I'm looking correctly, he led his team in scoring back in that first half. On the other side, I don't want to say it was a hodgepodge. Cade Norris, the coach's son, with 7 points, and I think he's got the team lead through 16 minutes.
Again, a little bit different approach with Norris than I thought. He is not out front in the point guard position as I thought he would be, although he's bringing the ball down. He's spending a lot of time in the paint and in the box trying to get a mismatch underneath.
Norris gets, and we resume action here in the second half as Bradley will attack the east bucket. Go left to right. Here's a three, straight on for Bischoff, off the front iron, and it's collected, saved by Bradley. Bischoff returns. It's Norris, returns, Bischoff again, straight on! And he has given the Jaguars their first lead of the game.
So he said, if I don't get it the first time, I'll go back to the well again, and he is able to give the Jaguars that lead, as you said, and we're excited to see if that's going to start a run for the Jaguars.
That is a first lead change of the game. And the ball worked in down low, looking for Ullum underneath, and he was fouled from behind.
Conversation between Bolin and it looked like Murphy on a switch there that didn't work out in their favor.
Murphy picks up foul number 2. That's the first team foul of this second half between either team. 29-26, Bradley with a 3-point margin. And Alex Morton gets the start here in this second half. He sat significant minutes in the first half. And as you zero in on Morton, who has the ball right now, he's got his left elbow heavily wrapped up. They play around to Ehlers. Straight on three for Morton, off the mark, rims out, loose ball on the floor. It should be it is a tie-up, and it'll stay up front to Mason on alternating possessions.
Looked like both teams had at least a hand on the ball, so they'll call on a jump ball and take it off to the side, Will Mason.
Morton will trigger to the bottom of your screen. Up in the forecourt. See if they play back. No, instead they'll just stay in and he'll play to Maker up front. Checked by Cade Norris. They wrap it around. Ehlers gets a touch. So Mason was incredibly hot to start off this ballgame. 9-0 to start this out. And Bradley is caught up, has the lead, as Mason has cooled off from long range.
I think the coaches are actually battling for who can be louder on the sideline. Both of them are up and down the side, stomping their feet, screaming. It looks like that win's going to go to Norris because he's able to help force a turnover. That
one literally into the hands of Richards, Greg Richards, the head coach for Mason. 2 minutes gone on by here in this second half, 29-26, and this one deflected away. Mason on the run. Here's Middleton into the forecourt, pops 15 feet away, baseline right, no good, and it's tapped out. It belongs to Mason. Unbelievably, nobody had traveled, and now we've got some contact. A hold up high.
It looked like two defenders actually had body contact and arms reached out on Olam. He does get the foul called for him. And I tell you, as much as I appreciate Michael Jordan and what he brought to the game of basketball, there's a big downfall in Jordan's game, and that is he's taught every one of these kids how to do this fadeaway jump shot that for most people just doesn't work out.
Murphy picks up foul number 3. The ball entry to Morton. So Alex gets his first field goal of the night after averaging 13 a ball game a year ago, 29-28. Here's a 3 straight on for Abras, no good, and Mason on the move with Morton.
Yeah, Morton's score, I should say, got the student section back on their feet and alive.
Runner and a foul. So Middleton tried to make the shot, foul coming with 5:20 to go here in this third.
Friendly foul on number 25, Ian Abras.
So Abras guilty of a hold.
Number 2, Todd Middleton.
That's his first. Already 3 team fouls for the Jaguars, up by a point. Mason looking to tie and take a lead. And they've tied.
Yeah, that 3 fouls could be concerning for the Jaguars this early in the second half.
We're tied at 29. And Todd Middleton has given his team a 30-29 lead. Our second lead change of the night. All in this third quarter. And the Mason faithful giving an earful to Cade Norris from his air ball back in the first half. The misfire by Mayfield, and here comes Mason up by a point in the ball. Here's Morton driving baseline to the rack. He goes. He missed the shot. Got the rebound. Puts it back.
What a great effort by Morton on that play. Gets rejected partially in the first attempt, gets his own rebound and puts it back in.
Alex has the last 4. 4:44 left to go in this third, 32-29.
Coach Richard said Morton would have to be the go-to guy in the second half. They're leaning on him heavily.
Mayfield, a beauty step around. He pumps 18 feet away.
The attempted steal by Morton falls short. Mayfield has an open shot that he buries.
His first field goal in the second half, he's got 7, 32-31. And now both teams have pumped it up a little bit. Morton cross-courts it. Work around the arc and play back to Morton. Puts it on the deck against Mayfield, and Mayfield won't give him any quarter. So we come up on the halfway point of this third. High-low to Morton. 6 straight for Alex.
What a fantastic pass there. The vision of Middletown there. It's just unbelievable, and the finish by Morton.
Norris off the Mayfield screen. And they reverse it and turn it over. Nearly turned over. Morton. And it's up and down. So it was saved by Abras. And we head the other way with 3:46 to go in the third.
Yeah, he was able to corral the ball. He took one dribble, and then actually a second dribble caught him for double dribble. As we're going into the break, you'll see this timeout.
That is a full timeout.
Well, we'll step aside here on Chatterbox Plus. Out of the timeout, 3-point margin for Mason with 3:46 to go. Timeout situation. Jaguars have 3 left, Comets have 4. And it's been the Alex Morton show here in this third period. He handles the ball coming up the floor. Not that it's a big surprise, he is multifaceted. He gets it out in the corner. He triggers 3 off the mark, and this place would have exploded. Here's Ehlers, puts it back and in for 2 of his own.
Yeah, he was actually being held underneath by the Bradley defender. He had him kind of chicken wing, but he was able to fight off that pressure and return that ball to the basket.
That's an 8-0 run for the Mason Comets. High-low looking for Mayfield, picked off. Here's Ullum into the forecourt. Here's a long 3 off the mark from Middleton. I mean, that was from 28 feet away.
Yeah, he needed to take about 2 steps in and shoot that again.
Cade Norris, high-low. They work for Mayfield, using that big body low on the right, no good. We got a tie-up and a hold down low.
Peyton Murphy doing a great job using his body on the inside leverage to put the ball back up and draw a quick foul against Mason.
Fouls on Ehlers, that's his first, the team's first of this half, with 2:51 left to go here in this third. So Murphy to the stripe as he hits on the first. 6'3", a senior forward, Peyton Murphy.
You see DeBras come back into the game for Mason, as well as Ben Golan.
The next one is up, out, and a whistle underneath. We'll head the other way. I think you just...
Bradley fouls on number 25.
That is a foul. It's a foul, and it's on DeBras. Well, no, that's incorrect because Mason has the ball. Here's a jumper from the short corner, and that was absolutely pretty for Middleton.
Middleton, body control, got up and over the defender. Instead of fading back that time, he shot towards the basket.
Todd has 7, 38-32, and now we're trying to get back into that 9-point range that Mason had to start off this ball game. They look inside, a wrap around to Mayfield, tapped out, back to Middleton, and beg your pardon, Mayfield, and we've got a foul.
Golan's going to commit the foul. They try to give and go first to Mayfield. That didn't work. They were able to rebound that. On the drive, the foul's committed, which is going to send Mayfield to the line.
DeBras does finally pick up his second. That's the team's second of this half. And the first one for the big body Tayshawn Mayfield, who sat out a year ago due to a knee injury while playing football. Multi-star athlete, multi-sport athlete. And a miss on the second, and it's a 5-point ball game. To the rack, and in for Middleton.
Middleton says, Morton, I see you, I can do the same thing, so he's taking over scoring points in the last minute.
3 to answer back. And that is Cade Norris, who lets the crowd know.
Yeah, finally Norris gets a little bit of redemption by getting that air ball off his back.
That's his first trifecta of the night. 40-36.
With as many points as he's averaging, that's a surprise and a credit to Mason's defense.
Well, to that point, partner, you talk about players that need to be in rhythm to shoot. Speaking of rhythm, here's a 3 straight on! then Minker for his third trifecta tonight.
Minker said, Jeff, I hear you about rhythm, and I'll play you a little tune right here from the top of the key.
11 for Minker, 43-36. Norris again, without the chance this time of an air ball. And this one picked off. Back the other way, DeBras to the rack, and no good! Off the back iron, rebounded by Cade Norris, and we've got a foul.
He saw too much defender behind him. He used his body to try to keep Cade Norris away from him, but in the process lost control of the ball and didn't get to finish on that turnover that he caused on the other end.
That's 3 on Alex Morton with under a minute to play.
Mikey Jones checks back in, Ehlers checks back in, and Olam checks back in for the Comets.
Norris here. Mayfield gets here, center jump circle, and a foul as Ehlers worked the body, the core. That's quite a core workout if you're going to try to bump Mayfield with it.
If you're going to try to move that big body, it's going to take a lot of strength, and he was able to separate Mayfield from the ball, but in the process, a little body contact caused the foul.
Team fouls are even at 4 apiece with 46.7 left to go, as it'll be Bradley to enter, up in the forecourt, and into the backcourt is the point guard, Cade Norris. Combination guard, shooting guard, point guard. Yeah, Mayfield high-low in the bucket.
Nice play there by
Bischoff answers with 2 off that short corner.
To your point, he was an actual more of a shooting guard last year. Coach expects him to move to the point guard position, but I don't think he's found that home just yet.
Mikey Jones gets a touch. They work down low. Ullum outside. 3 from the wing, off the mark for DeBras. 10 seconds to go here in this third. Here's Norris off the high screen. 5 to play. 3 on the way! Jeff Bischoff ends things here in this third.
Wow, what a ice water in his veins to take that shot as we're going to the end of the quarter. Bischoff with nothing but the bottom of the net to look at. We'll bring his action back to you in just a moment with Chatterbox Plus.
To the fourth quarter we go here in Mason, and a good one to wrap things up here on day number 2 of this Ohio Valley Hoops Classic. 43-41, the Comets leading the Jaguars by 2. Mason leading Hilliard Bradley. Along with Matt Baker, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here on Chatterbox Plus. Mayfield will trigger up into the forecourt. Cade Norris got a touch. E.J. Tejas into the ballgame. Back to Norris. Stuck low on the left. Returns it up high. A lot of contact down low as Bischoff was making his move.
Yes, he went to the basket. He was given by at least 2 defenders, a hand to the face, driving the left-hand side of the line, and Mikey Jones gets a hand right to the ball and to the arm at the same time, sending Murphy to the line.
And beg your pardon, it was Murphy, who's got 4 right now. He misfires on that first attempt. Two-point contest, 13 seconds gone by here in this fourth. And Murphy makes it a 1-point contest.
Partner, I want to know, do you feel the same as me that this may come down to one of those near last-second shots? It just seems like at this point it's trading a little bit of sloppy basketball, but trading nonetheless.
Well, the energy is still high, right? So I think that's the case that if you got teams trading baskets, and speaking of trading baskets, Jack Owens gets 2 more.
Yeah, the inlet pass was over the head of the defender. Olam turned around, controlled his body, and then put it in for 2.
Olam gets 8, or has 8 in the book, 45-42. So they've kept Bradley at arm's length. 3 misfires by Bischoff. We've got a foul off the screen.
Yeah, interesting what they're going to call here. I guess they're going to call Middleton. Middleton got mixed up in that screen, actually fell to the ground, and the process was Murphy, and they're going to give him the ball out of bounds here to start with 7:15 left.
So they're lucky it's not on the shot and it's on the screen, so it's still a Bradley possession, down by 3. Norris to Bischoff. Bischoff, top of the key. Catch and release. 3 on the way to tie.
3-point basket, Norris.
So Norris gets his second trifecta of the second half. We're tied at 45.
Playing a little ping pong, back and forth, shot for shot. That's why I said I feel like it's going to go down to maybe one of those last second shots here.
Second tie of the ball game. Then Menker, the handoff to Jack Ullum. Mason tried to go 2-0 on this early season, wins in back-to-back games. They beat Tri-Village a night ago as the nightcap of this Hoops Classic and the steal. Here's Norris, top, over for Bischoff, catch, release, off the mark on the three-point attempt. And Mason will get another look.
Yeah, sorry, partner. I'm just trying to say that fatigue may get into this game a little bit because Mason is the only team that's played 2 games.
Middleton, the runner to the hold, and no good. And it's not a charge, it's a blocking call.
Norris upset at that call. We'll see on the replay as Middleton drives in. It looks like Norris, his feet set in the middle of the lane, but he doesn't get the charge call. In fact, it's going to be a block, and the student section lets him know that they don't appreciate his effort.
Norris picks up his first. First one is good for Middleton, and he breaks the tie. We've had 2 ties and 2 lead changes in this ball game. 2. The next one is up and through for Todd Middleton. Another good night for Todd. He's got 11 in the book, 47-45. Mayfield dumps it off. Try to play down in the middle, instead they'll stay outside. Abras got a touch and back over for Norris. Here at the Black Hole, as they call it here in Mason Arena, the Black Hole fans letting Norris know a lot on his efforts tonight. Near travel on the near side, at the bottom of your screen. They'll reset with Norris. And a long possession, 30 seconds deep. This one off the hand, saved by Bischoff. Bischoff shut off, and we've got a foul with 5:13 to go here in this ballgame.
Like you said, Jeff, that was a long possession, multiple passes to every player on the Bradley sideline, touched the ball at least 3 times, but it's going to end up in the hands of Bischoff in order to hopefully catch them up on this 2-point deficit.
Chip Bischoff averaged about 6.5 points a ball game a season ago. Scored as many as 15 in a ball game. I think he's about ready to break through that. He's got 14 right now. Front end is good. He's tied that career high mark. 6-foot-tall sophomore Jeb Bischoff. And he's looking to tie the ball game. We've got a 1-point difference right now, and we are tied.
Lane violation.
Lane violation. Whoa.
Leaning forward a little bit on that shot. He must have touched his toe over the line in the process.
So it's a 1-point contest. The lead in the ball for Mason. Menker plays back. Morton thought about 3. He really thought about it. Middleton back inside for Morton, and he threw it away.
Tried to force that inside.
And now we've got a wrestling match between Evan Ehlers and Cade Norris.
I'll be honest with you, I don't see how that call went to a jump ball and a change of possession there. So Coach Norris is telling his team, clapping them up and saying, hey, it's passed, let's move on. But I didn't understand the call on that one.
Ball up front, and it's caught by Hanley, who's back into the contest. Side pocket right. And they keep it around the arc. A long 3 off the mark. No good for Menker. And the Jaguars try to take their second lead of the ball game. Mayfield going baseline. He was out of control. Tried to go for the circus shot underneath the hoop.
Yeah, lost control on the way up with his right hand.
Ullum in a crowd. Off the short corner. Misfires. The putback, no good by Menker. And it's possessed by Bradley. Here's Norris playing Bischoff, returning it up high for Norris. side pocket right, bottom of your screen. With 4:03 left to go, makes his move on the short corner. Tries to step around, goes to the right hand. He'll go to the line. He gives the Jaguars the lead.
Norris with the drive to the right-hand box. He loses control, grabs it up and under with the score and the foul to send him to the line.
Allen picks up his second. That's 18 fouls against the Comets. Norris gets the bonus. Partner, how many points do you think Norris has?
I'm going to say, how about 14?
He's got 16 in the book, and he's giving the Jaguars a lead as we take a timeout. Down the stretch we go here at the Black Hole in Mason. 49-47. The Jaguars have regained the lead, a 2-point advantage over the Comets. We've had 3 lead changes and 2 ties here in this contest, and man pressure shown out of the timeout. Broken by Middleton, up into the forecourt, stop top of the key. Morton has it on the catch. Middleton has got to break the 5-second count. Gets by, the blow by to the rack, he goes, he missed the shot.
Ran into the heavy body of Mayfield there, and he was able to bounce off of him.
Peyton Murphy the rebound, and now an advantage here for the Jaguars as they try to tack on. It's Mayfield top of the key, and I got to tell you, I still am impressed by the body. You know, he is physical, he's got broad shoulders and a thick set of thighs out there.
Long arms too, good reach.
3:04 to go in this one. E.J. Taya top of the key. Drive, Bischoff dumps it off, goes over for Norris, he misfires. The rebound, the putback for 2. Tayshaun Mayfield answers.
That's an over 25-second possession there, and ending in the 2-point bucket is exactly what Bradley needs to make this game go a little bit faster.
And a 2-possession lead tonight here for Bradley. And this one thrown out of bounds. The lob for Menker, he was looking down low for Ullum. They misconnected, and now do we have another timeout? We do. 2:32 left to go here in this one. Down the stretch we go. A 4-point lead for the Jaguars. .232 to go here in this final game of this Ohio Valley Hoops Classic on Chatterbox Plus. We've had some good games. Partner, you had a good one a couple of games ago. We had an interesting one the game ago. That Cathedral ended up running away with in the second half, and now we've got a great one here to end things here on this Saturday night.
Yeah, different. This is more of the nail-biter variety, so full court pressure put on by Mason now.
And broken as Norris has the ball for Bradley. He steps through a double team, now stuck as Morton has him, and now we've got to stop.
Norris is pleading to the referee, how am I not getting mugged in that case with 2 defenders all over me, but he doesn't get the call, and it's a 5-second violation.
Alex Morton on the help defense gave him enough room to handle. You ever played that game? You have siblings, by the way?
I do.
So if you have a brother or sister and that game, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you.
That's exactly
what Alex Morton just did.
Yep, hands across but never touching.
2:10 to go. Hanley has the ball on the floor, back up high. Here's the catch by Middleton, dances. He fades from 15, he misfires.
Got to shoot towards the rim, stop fading away, jump towards the bucket.
Norris playing the Mayfield. Those have been 2 stalwarts here in this ball game for the Bradley Jaguars. Up by 4. The lead in the ball with 1:43 to go. Oh, down the lane, Mayfield, back outside, Bischoff for 3, off the mark. That would have really changed things. And Taya the rebound. Tapped away, and Mason gets it. The throw is intercepted to Norris, intended for Ben Menker. Out on the sideline. He plays to Murphy, and they kick it back out with 1:18 to go.
I think another thing we have to remember is Norris is only a sophomore. You know, he's got a lot of good size on him for a sophomore, but he doesn't have any experience compared to these senior-heavy teams that he's going to face throughout the year.
So that's 2-on-2 crime as Todd Middleton picks up his third personal wearing the number 2 as he worked in on Cade Norris, also wearing number 2, and Norris will go to the line. We had mentioned going into the break about the scoring tonight for Norris, and while you're hearing cries of air ball and his misfires on the front end, and we have the other way. He does have 16 points in the book.
Yeah, like I said to you during the break, a quiet 16 because he's also trying to run the offense through him. He's had a couple turnovers, but he's also caused a couple turnovers.
19 fouls for the Comets. The next one will be the double bonus the rest of the way. Morton out on the corner, fakes inside. Oh, a beauty move! He throws it on the little cross-court pass out to the side, and then come back up front.
Missed an open Olam as he crossed across the lane.
Middleton lost it!
Jump ball possession arrow is going to go to the Bradley Jaguars. That's just an effort play by Tia there.
Under a minute to play here in this one. A 4-point margin, but this could be a big offensive opportunity for Bradley. Partner, I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you go for the bucket or do you just pass around dribble weave?
I'm eating time. I'm eating time right now. If I'm Mayfield, I'm getting it into Norris's hands, clearing out the rest of the defense and let him bring the ball up the court so I can get as much time off this clock as possible.
And even though he missed the last one, the one in the bonus, you put it in his hands. As it's now in his hands, Norris, Mayfield. Mayfield throws it up front. Taya, half-court trap on a double team, back to Norris. Peyton Murphy, outside, he threw it away. And that might be the danger of the passing game.
Yeah, running a stall, you have the opportunity to potentially turn it over, and there's going to be a timeout. Goes and called for by Coach Richards. So we'll take a break here on Chatterbox Plus.
Down the stretch we go. 34.3 left to go here in game number 10 of this Ohio Valley Hoops Classic, 51-47. We're trying to catch our breath here on this one as we've had a litany of just mishandles. And the ball has resembled a greased pig down the stretch as nobody really wants to maintain possession. As soon as Mason would give it up on a turnover, back comes Bradley the other way and they throw it out of bounds out to a corner.
Yeah, I think you're seeing it's early season ball right now. There's a lot of turnovers, a lot of energy, a lot of fresh legs, but unfortunately that's not resulting in a lot of points.
Problem if you're Mason is you got to hurry things up because you're down by 2 possessions as we come up on 30 seconds left to go. Here's a catch release, Middleton for 3, off the mark, high off the window and a foul off the ball. As we see on the other side, Murphy knocked down, and we head the other way. So the ball rattling out of bounds, no foul, and the ball will be worked in. I think Murphy was trying to cell job it out on the corner, and now we have a foul. Blocking call on Jack Hanley, and now it's 10 team fouls on the Comets with 19.9 to go.
At this point, you have no choice if you're Mason. You have to foul, send them to the line, cross your fingers to hope that they miss this. You try to get at least a 3 up quickly, and then try to get a turnover or another quick foul.
2.
E.J. Taya to the line, 5'11", a junior. And no good. So you got a 4-point advantage for the Jaguars. You're still, no matter how you look at it, you need a field goal to start things off if you're the Comets, and then you got to figure a way to get the ball back defensively or by a foul.
Yeah, if you have an opening straight to the hole, you take it and get your 2 points. Now you're down by 5, so minimally you need a bucket, a 3-pointer, and a 2-pointer.
Morton lost it! And it's taken up by Taya. Across half court, he is fouled with 12.5 left to go, and Bradley can smell it.
Taya's not going to show up in your scorebook other than that first field goal first free throw that he made, but he's going to show up on effort points all day long.
It's number 3 on Jack Hanley for Mason. Taya back at the stripe. 2 here would make it a 3-possession contest. He gets the first. I suppose miracles can happen, but you go up by 7, which they just did, and you effectively lock down the game.
Yeah, that might have been the final nail in the coffin.
We're going to stick right here with 12.5 left to go here in this ball game. 54-47 here on the timeout as we look to think about what our play of the game powered by Headlines Apparel is.
That's a good question, partner. I'd say at this point it might be a turnover that was caused by Taya that pretty much sealed that response there, and then the foul where he put the 2 points in and caused it to be a 7-point lead at this point. That may be the difference in the game because they were trading baskets, trading punches up to that point, and he created that separation.
Right now, I'm going to go, especially as well as the Black Hole gang has maligned him here in this ball game, I'm going to go with that runner, that and one opportunity for the point guard, Cade Norris, who's led his team in scoring tonight.
That'd be a good choice.
Middleton down the line, some contact with 10 seconds left to go.
Friendly fouls on number 14, EJ.
But they had a foul to give there, so they were willing to give that up to create another stoppage of play to let them reset their defense.
Final 10 seconds of this contest, a 7-point lead. Middleton on the catch, he throws up a 3 off the mark. Morton tried to save it, we have the other way with 5.4 left to go. And Bradley, you have to really appreciate their gumption down the stretch as we have a stop here as Norris caught the ball, fouled from behind.
He stepped over the line there, so they called him out actually from out of bounds. So it is going to turn over the ball.
With 4.9 seconds left to go, a full timeout. Why else you can't take them with you, right? The Jaguars have 1 left, and I think the Comets have 2 left. With, again, 5.4 left to go. Actually, 4.9, beg your pardon. So I don't know if we're any closer to a play of the game. I know that you and I have some differing opinions on this one. Time to look back as far as the tournament is concerned, or the showcase is concerned. I know that you and I have seen some limited games here as far as our involvement, and we got to thank our entire crew. Reed Mouse has been putting up with us all night long. We thank him especially for his efforts. But is there any one player that has stood out to you that say, hey, I really like him?
I was able to come and catch the Homestead Alter game right before the first game I did of Elder Carmel. And I tell you, there was a last-second 3 by Alter to seal the deal, and that was a fantastic shot on a contested 3 at that. And it was, ice water in his veins, takes the shot, makes it hit as time expires. That's been the play of the tournament that I got to see.
I believe that was Jacob Connor, if I believe. No, it wasn't Connor. Connor's the obvious name for Alter, but Connor did not hit the shot. Okay. So on the entry, catch release. Morton for 3, off the mark. Ball chased down by Norris. Up ahead, and that's the way she ends. The Jaguars win it, going away with their biggest lead of the ballgame at the end of the ballgame. 7-point winners tonight over the Comets. Jaguars open up the season 1-0. The Comets fall to 1-1 after 2 games on back-to-back nights.
Yeah, excellent night of energy basketball. Maybe not so much when it comes to the turnovers that were allowed by both teams. The little bit of a lid that got on the basket after the first quarter for the Comets, but you can see the Norris clan and the Bradley coaches are very slow to walk away from that huddle because they know they got away with one there, not playing their best game but still getting the victory.
Cade Norris had 16, and that looks like that's the game high and not just the team high. Jeff Bischoff had 15 in the book, which ties his career high. On the other side, as we're looking, Ben Minker had 3 trifectas tonight. He had 9. He had 11 points overall. And as we do a quick scan of scoring, he was the leader, well, I believe, on the team. Actually, we looked for Todd Middleton. Beg your pardon, it's Middleton. 7, he's got 11 in the book as well. So he tied for the team lead here tonight. So as we begin to put a wrapper on this one, I'll put you back on the spot. Headlines play of the night.
I would have to agree with you. It's that drive and the and one by Cade Norris that probably made a bigger impact than any other play that the Bradley Jaguars had.
So we do put a wrapper to this one. And partner, a fun one. I'm glad to have you along for the last couple of games here on Gyrobox Plus. Our videographer tonight, flying solo on the last game, is Ian Calamire. the mighty one, Reed Mouse, to our left. He is babysat Matt and myself here for the last couple of games. Yes, he's got a knowing nod on that one here as well. We'll take a timeout here, and we'll come back to wrap things up, hopefully with a winning coach and a player, here on Chatterbox Plus.